Welcome friends, welcome to AB Astrology. आप सब लोगों का स्वागत है. Thank you for all the love and support I'm getting from all of you guys on the Nakshatra videos and also on the recent recording which I have done with Babaji, and lots of love and good comments I'm getting from that too. So I thank Babaji ji from Exotic Astrology and thank you all for giving me all the support and confidence. And also I want to thank to those people as well. It's a very small percentage that those who don't like the video, but they still gave us their precious time. So I cannot thank them enough, because I always think giving someone your time is one of the biggest deal. We can do it for others. So and I always try to make sure that if I can be helpful to any of one of you guys, and because of me, if you are getting some tips, it's a very big privilege for me, and it's a very big honor. So again, I want to thank two times. I would thank to those ones for some reason if they don't like the video, but they still have to watch, or they give their time to us. So thank you so much. So more parts gonna come later in this week for the recording I have done with the Babaji ji, because it's just like I mentioned before, it was a long video. I cannot post it a three-hour video on the YouTube. Some of you guys might just say that what the hell. So I just thought to put it in the parts so that everyone can enjoy and they don't have to stuck with the Bollywood theme, which is good sometimes, but not for all of them, because time is money these days and time is everything. So so today I thought it's a REVATI Nakshatra, so why not to make a video on REVATI, even though I will not release the video today because it might not do the justice to the recordings I have done with the Exotic Astrology. So maybe I will post when the series is done again in the later part of the week. And so let's talk about the REVATI Nakshatra. It's again, all nakshatras are beautiful. They have very good energies. Every nakshatra comes with the shadow side too. So it's with the every nakshatra. So Pushan or REVATI, let's start with REVATI. It's the last nakshatra we all know in the 27 nakshatra scheme. I think it starts from 16 degrees 40 minutes to 30 degrees 0 minutes on the sidereal part. And it's a Mridhu nakshatra, and the animal associated with nakshatra is female elephant that has its own trait. The body part associated with this is abdomen, ankles too, and feet, because on the natural Kalpush chart, the REVATI falls in the 12th house, so feet has to be there. The another symbol for this nakshatra is pair of fish. So fish or water bodies has a very huge connection with this nakshatra. And also the drum. Drum is, there are many symbols, but these are the main symbols what I have learned. And also guys, before I go ahead, I have to tell you, see, whatever I'm sharing with you guys, it is just a gist of what I have learned, what I have seen, what I have experienced in the past 2 years of learning experience I had with so many charts, or which I do on a day-to-day basis. So it's a general video on REVATI. So if you don't have those traits, so don't think that it's not useful. It's just that we have to see a full chart to come to a full conclusion. But this is just a gist, and nothing I have made by myself. It's out there on the YouTube, on the Google. Everybody can learn, and I'm just doing my bit to tell you guys what I have learned through my experiences by looking at different charts. So So it's just a small gist what I have seen. And so let's come back to Revati. It's a beautiful nakshatra. Some says it's a nakshatra of it's a wealthy star, and that I have seen in a lot of celebrities, or also in the on a mundane level, even in my family, the prominent Revati people, a lot of wealth. And if it's afflicted, then it's a different story. If it's combust, it's a different story. If it's at Gandanta point, it's a totally different story. So again, here we are just talking generally on the Revati Nakshatra. So if the deity associated with this nakshatra is Pushan, and he needs no introduction, everybody knows. Those who don't know, they might find it a little interesting about this nakshatra. Pushan is known for taking care. He is the animal caretaker for the gods. And he is also the responsible deity who's associated with taking the dead souls to the realm of Lord Yama, or on the river called, I think, Vitrani River. So he's the one who take all the dead souls to Lord Yama. So he has a very strong responsibility on that part too. And this is the nakshatra, or this is the deity associated with, just like I said, taking care of the animals, giving a special protection to the animals, or protection, foster caring. That also I have very prominently seen in this nakshatra. And this is also a nakshatra associated with music because of this, one of the symbol, which is drums. So I have seen people with huge connection with music in this nakshatra. Not many people might resonate, but I have seen it consistently. Other than the Dhanishta, this is the another nakshatra. And also I have seen, as it is a soft Mridu nakshatra, they like to play a very soft music. And again, it depends upon the planet setting in this nakshatra, but usually the moon, Venus, they like the soft music. That's what I have seen in my experience as well. Huge at this zodiac falls in the water sign. So there is a huge connection, huge connection with the water bodies. These people like any kind of association with the waters. These people like walking on the water banks. These people like going into the water. And again, if it's afflicted, then it's a totally different story. Then these guys have a phobia with the water bodies. Again, we have to see the full chart in order to come to the full analysis. But this is just generally I'm telling. And what else I have seen with Revati, just like the music I have mentioned, I know this guy back in Delhi. He belongs to a medium, middle class family. So, but there was one thing which made me super interested to look into his D1, because he used to work 6 days a week, and on his one day off, what he used to do was, just like I mentioned, this is a nakshatra for taking care of the animals, or giving the foster care to the unprivileged animals, or to the children also. Those who are having trouble with the lack of parenting, you can say also. So this guy, on his day off, he used to go to one of the NGOs. It's a very big NGO in Delhi, and used to take care of the animals, especially the dogs. And I was very curious to know, if I have one day off, I'll rather spend that day off with my family or with my dear ones. But this guy, I'm seeing consistently going to a specific hospital or to the NGO, and he's just taking care of the street dogs. So I was very curious to look at his D1 now, because I knew in back of my mind that he must be having some kind of energy associated with taking care of other people or the other animals, or associated with Revati. But you will not believe he had 4, not even 1, 2, 3, 4 planets in Revati. So that explained everything. And just like this, you learn a lot. So whenever I see a certain trait is very prominent in their character, not for the birth chart analysis. For my own research, what I do is I always ask them for the date of birth if they are comfortable. I always tell them it's from my own research. I'm curious to see that why certain things are so prominent into your character or into your DNA, why you're following certain thing. So I find that thing very interesting. And the another thing I have seen, just like I said, Kushan is responsible for taking care of animals, children, or even the other people, especially in the emergency crisis or in the so hospitals, people who work in hospitals. I know one nurse here in my city. Again, I was curious to see what nakshatra or the focal nakshatra is sitting in her chart, because I knew in back of my mind it has to be some connection with Revati. So her 10th lord of career was sitting in Revati, and she was a nurse. And she was a nurse also in ICU department. So like in one of the departments in hospitals, we all know what ICU is. So I find it very interesting. And then foster cares, I have seen with this nakshatra, people like they love to take care of others. That's what this nakshatra is all about. They love taking care of others. They love and passion or compassion, whatever you can call it, becomes more intense when they see that they are not that privileged, or they are having some kind of malfunctioning or malnutrition in their diet.
It's 1 o'clock.
So a lot of themes. There are so many themes. It's just that it's just going over my head, and it's some of the themes are skipping from my mouth. Another thing I have seen, see, Pushan is also known for safe travels. So all kind of roads, streets, lighthouses at the shore bank of the water bodies. So people who work near the water bodies, any kind of association with the water bodies, they have to have some connection with Revati. Ships, consistently I have seen this guy I met in India in my last trip. So he was he's into construction, but he was showing me the layout of his next project, which I find was totally in a ship structure. So then again, I was curious, and I have a very curious mind. So and I was not holding up good with my curiosity. So I asked him for his date of birth, and he was a good friend. So he was comfortable with me. And as soon as I saw, he was having 1 planet in Chitra, and opposite to, I think in Chitra, I don't know, in Chitra and in Hasta, and opposite to that was Revati in the 12th house. And the next construction project, what he was doing was in a shipbuilding, in a structure. He was making a building. In the structure, format of a ship. So these guys have a huge association with ships as well. Many times I have seen in a Revati people, as female elephant is associated with this nakshatra. These guys must be having toys or paintings or like any kind of artifacts in an elephant shape or in a ship or as a ship or as fish, a pair of fish, because that is one of the symbol of this nakshatra, just like I mentioned earlier. So that is very fascinating. Every time I go and if I see too much of fishes in their houses or fish aquarium or animals like elephant, Revati has to be there or in their chart. So what else I have seen? If we talk about, let's talk about the mythology, which is very important with every nakshatra. So there are two mythological stories I can think for this nakshatra. One is of the yagna, what Raja Daksh was doing. We all know about it. Again, those who don't know, they might find it interesting. So he was doing a yagna, and Lord Shiva was not invited in that yagna. And we all know Mata Sati got killed in the fire yagna. You can just Google it for that, but I'll just tell you in the gist. And then, of course, Lord Shiva got devastated to what happened to Mata Sati. And so again, different classical text has different version. I'm telling you what I have learned. So he sent one of his farm, Veerbhadra, Lord Shiva, because he was devastated with the news of Mata Sati. So the Rudra farm, it is one of the Rudra farm of Lord Shiva, and he knocked off the teeth of Pushyan at that time. So many times we have seen the people with prominent Revati nakshatra, they might have some dental problems, or especially if the second lord is afflicted, definitely there has to be some dental issues or issues related to filling or extraction, something like that. Or what I have seen in one chart was like the front of his teeth was half cut. And I was bang on sure that this guy must be having some planet in Revati. His ascendant was in Revati. So just like this, you learn a lot. Again, just like I mentioned in the KRS video as well, if I am after some certain nakshatra energy, I only research in that. So that's like, I like to do research, and you can follow the same thing. And please, with my folded hand, I do request you all, do share your experiences as well. Even though if I have mentioned those ones or not, maybe you have a different version of Revati. So please give us the opportunity to learn from you as well. You can just put your comments in the comment section so that we can learn from each other. So that's that. See how mythology is so important. So because of the Rudra or the Veerbhadra knocked off the teeth of Pushyan in the Daksha Yagna, the same thing you can see in prominent Revati. So these people have some dental issues. Not always, especially if it's afflicted or the second lord is in Revati afflicted. Yes, it is very much possible, and 9 out of 10 times I have seen it consistently. The another mythological story behind this nakshatra is which I got to know through Bharat Ramji last year, or maybe no, 1.5 years back. So he was the one. I was fascinated when I got to know about this mythology behind the this Revati Nakshatra. Maybe some of you guys already know, but some, again, those who don't know, they might find it interesting. See, we all know Revati, goddess Revati. She was the daughter of Raja named Kakudhumi, and he was the ruler of the kingdom beneath the ocean. And he was having trouble. Again, this is the version what I have learned. He was having a hard time getting his daughter married. So again, being as a father, he got worried, and he took few proposals to up in the heavens to Lord Brahma in the Brahmalok. And while Lord Brahma was enjoying the Gandharv music, again the music comes in, and when he was done with the music party, and when he got to know that Raja Kakudhumi is waiting for him with some of his query, so when he went, Kakudhumi started telling Brahmaji that these are the proposals I have for my daughter, and I need your advice, your recommendation on that. And Brahmaji started laughing, and he said, Kakudhumi, that you think that you are only waiting here from the past 15-20 minutes, but the time on the loka from where you have come from, many yugs have gone past. So all these proposals are useless. So now he got more worried. So he's like, what he's talking about? And Brahmaji was saying that we are in a different loka, you came from a different loka, and the time over here in this loka goes very fast. Again, I will not go in the astronomy part. And many yugs have gone past. So now he got worried, and he was like, so what's the solution? Where should I get my daughter married? So Brahmaji said, yes, there is a solution, and the solution is Lord Krishna and Lord Balram. When you go back, you might find them. And Balramji is a very good match for your daughter, and she can get married to Lord Balram. So that was the second mythology behind this nakshatra. So I have find it consistently, especially in my family, in my friend circle, the closest friend circle I know, because Revati was, you can say, goddess Revati ji was little taller than Balramji because of the difference in the yugas. So I have consistently seen, and again, I'm putting a disclaimer here, it is not always possible in all the cases, but 7 or 8 out of 10 times I have consistently seen this. So what I have seen, either the wife is much taller or not much taller, even by 2 inches if she's taller than the from the husband, I have consistently seen that. The other theme, what I have seen it is either, that is consistently I have seen, either wife is 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years, 5 years, maybe sometimes 7 years elder than the spouse. That also I have seen. Now some might say that I have prominent Revati, but I don't have that trait. Again, I'm saying it from my experience, but I have consistently, 7 out of 10 cases I have seen that. Or you can say what I have seen, the other trait is, if not the age, if not the height, they might have some kind of belief which is totally opposite from their religion, from their tradition, or from their era. The husband might, or if the husband is Revati, the wife might be the husband might be thinking that she's from a different era. So the mythology plays big time in this nakshatra, or in every nakshatra I've seen. So this is the point which I really wanted to share with you guys. So do look up the charts of people you know in your life or in your circle. those who have prominent Revati. I find it very fascinating because as soon as I see either sun or moon or ascendant lord or Mahadasha lord, I always ask them that what is the is your wife elder than you? And they always say, how you know? So that's where the mythology plays a big part. And the teeth, because of the Veerbhadra knocking off the teeth of Pushyan, consistently dental problems I have seen. And I have also discussed some of the examples on the Kiara slide, if you have seen the video of the famous comedian Kapil Sharma. So he has 2 or 3 planets. I'm not sure about his wife, but I know that he's a big time pet lover, he's a big time dog lover, and he has the habit of adopting. I think one for sure, he adopted a retired dog from Mumbai police. And that's where you see the Revati energy of any person. The another example comes to my mind is Angela Jolie. She has, I think, moon, 2 or 3 planets in Revati Nakshatra, very prominent Revati, and she needs no introduction that she has adopted many kids, even though she has her own biological kids, but she has adopted many kids. She's, I think, the brand ambassador, I think, I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that, for United Nations as well. So that's the another thing. You might find people, prominent people who are working for United Nations, UNICEF, organization like UNICEF, big NGOs. These people, these are the people who works for NGOs. Like one of the prominent Nakshatra energy who works for NGOs. See, the notification says it's a current horizon Mercury, and we all know Revati is ruled by Mercury. So see how the energy plays out every time. It's fascinating. Foster cares, water bodies, ships, and again, this nakshatra, just like I was saying, it's known for safe travels. A lot of people who works for travel agency I have seen in this nakshatra in my research. Shravana also, which we have discussed earlier. The another thing, when I used to work in a city job here in my city, I have seen one road safety officer, and who was an Indian guy, so I know him personally as well. So, but again, I was curious to know anything to roads. It is Ashwini too. It is transportation is seen from Bharni too, but Revati is known for safe travels, and he was given an occupation of road safety officer. Excuse me. So I was now curious. So he had sun in Revati, and sun was sitting in the 10th house. So how beautiful this nakshatra plays out. So just by looking at the nakshatra energy, you can see and predict so many things. It's quite amazing. And more themes. There are tons of themes. I think this is just what I have experienced, what I have seen. I will make more videos on nakshatras as I'm getting too many requests. Surely I will make them. You just have to be little patient, stay tuned whenever I will get the opportunity, because I have a full-time thing. So I cannot make frequent videos, but still I'm doing my best. I'm doing a lot of collaborations for all of you guys, because I want to bring and I want to take astrology. I want to combine astrology with Mother Nature, because connecting to Mother Nature, it is very important. So I want to use the medium of astrology to connect with my Mother Nature, so that all of you guys can connect with that energy. Because just like my teacher says, every remedy, every aushadhi, we call it in Hindi, is out there in the nature. So we need to go out. So I'll make more videos on nakshatras. So this is just a gist, a very small gist of what I have seen. Lastly, I will close with Revati is what I have seen. These guys have a very special connection with spirituality as well. Because again, if you see, this is one of the sign Jupiter owns is Pisces. So spirituality has to be there. Another thing I have seen, prominent people working for Bollywood, Hollywood. Because don't forget, or for the media line. So other than the taking care, there is, see, one nakshatra has not only one trait or two traits, it has 100 of traits. But here we are talking about just the few traits which are very prominent to see or to experience or to be seen. So because don't forget, Revati nakshatra, uh, uh, in this nakshatra, Venus gets exalted. So we all know Venus is connected to media, acting, career. So a lot of actors, modeling. I have seen models. I have seen from this nakshatra as well. And the another thing I have seen, see the animal symbol with this nakshatra, associated with this nakshatra is a female elephant. So a lot of times, again, don't take me literally. If it's afflicted, I have consistently seen, even if it's not afflicted, I have seen these people have the tendency to look a little bit fluffy or a little bit chubby. It does not have to be fatty all the time. Fatty also I have seen. So look how the characteristics of the animals do show up in the nakshatra as well. And also what I have seen, see, elephants are known in the animal kingdom to live in a very harsh, to survive in a very harsh environment too. So these are the people who can survive in a very tough or the harsh situation of their life. So that also I have seen. And also I want to mention one more thing, which is very important. See, whenever I make any video or I'm making an example of opposite nakshatra, see, again, this is my belief, this is my understanding for nakshatras. This is my, so I'm not forcing anyone, and I don't believe in forcing anyone anyways. See, whenever we see a foster care, or whenever, let me say, I see foster care, and I know the prominent nakshatra energy playing out here in the foster care, which is Pushan is known for that, taking care of the people who are not that privileged, or taking care of foster kids, foster parents, as a foster parents. So when you see institutes like that, when you see places like that, that place is full of energy of Revati. So we don't need to go to the temple every time to connect with them. Even if you see a foster care, even if you see the NGOs where they are taking care of the pets in a big time way, these are the places whenever I'm passing by on streets, whenever I see places like that, I always bow down to them, because for me, it's a Pushan energy, Sakshat, live Pushan energy in front of me. So I don't need to go to the temple all the time. And again, I'm not saying to you guys that don't go to temple. Of course, we need to go to temples. We need to connect with the higher realm. But what all I'm saying is, these are also the places where you can invoke the energy, or where you can witness or the experience the energy of certain nakshatras. And every nakshatras has all their attributes, which we are discussing with this series. So I thought it is very interesting, and it is very important to share this, because everything is inside, but we are somehow in a mundane world. We are looking outside and we are searching for outside. So, but again, we will not go on that part. And also, again, one thing with the searching part comes, see, Pushan is known for lost and found. And again, and I have mentioned that in the KRS video as well, this is the nakshatra. If you have lost something, this is the nakshatra where you might find something. So again, if you see people, again, you can do the research. If you see people who are working in the lost and found department, look up if they're comfortable, and if they are your family friends or friends, look up at their chart. Revati has to be there. Pushan has to be there in the lost and found department. So these guys are very good. And again, if it's afflicted, then these guys have the tendency to lose objects. So again, the full chart has to be seen. So again, I will not take more of your time. I don't like making big videos, because then many of you might say that 2-hour video, 1-hour video. No, we don't want to watch that long. So I like it. I like to keep things a little bit short, precise, logical. So I hope you like the video. So again, thank you so much for giving me your time, your love, support, and more. I'm trying to collaborate with more big scholars from whom we can learn a lot. So just stay tuned. More wisdoms of big scholars are on the way to us, to me, to all of you guys. It's just a matter of time, and it's just the matter of their schedule, my schedule. So whenever I'll get the opportunity, I will try to bring them on my channel, and so that we can all learn from their experiences and from their knowledge. So thank you guys all. We'll see you some other day with different message, with different nakshatra. Thank you.